What's up guys, it's you here. Welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck of the Day. Today we're providing my personal favorite deck, which is Nekroz, post-duelist Nexus with the additional Evolzer Last. The deck got an additional negation boost with this rank 6 monster. I was super excited because the deck is, let's say, it's a very good rogue deck right now, especially against the matchups against the top tier decks. It's very good. In the last 3 competitive events, 2 OTS Championship and 1 Regional, I got really good, especially 1 to 4 and 2, let's say, top 8s. In the last OTS Championship, I was super unlucky. I got two draws, both draws in the time. I was 1-0 leading, and I lost on time the second game, and it went draw. Other than, I got really good wins against Kushtira's Branded, 2 wins against Branded, and 1 win against the Mathmech. It was a tough game. Okay, you have to not expect so much against the rogue decks, especially against the backdraw decks. You don't have to expect the wins against the decks that run a lot of flag gates, especially against Traffics. It's a nightmare against Nekroz. So before we begin with the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. Comment down below what do you think. If you need an update on any other deck profile, don't forget to comment down below. Also, we are going to share some test hats and a small combo. So without further ado, let's start with the profile. Starting off, we have 3 Nekroz of Brainrack. He's the main sorter of the deck. It's essentially Nekroz monster from your deck. Also, he's level 6, and he's an important part of the deck. Especially with its level, you can have access almost to your entire extra deck. Also, its second effect is very important for the current meta because you can recycle 2 monsters from the extra deck back to the deck, and you can open the play against all meta deck right now. Moving on, we're running only 2 Nekroz of Unicorn. We are not running 3. Yes, this is strange, but Unicorn in the current format, it's only good going second, especially if your opponent start with a lot of extra deck monsters without the negation. You can summon the Unicorn and block his place, and you're able to make your other plays. Otherwise, Unicorn is very good, especially if you are in time in order to recycle your Nekroz of Walkers and stun the game to win in time. And also, in general, the recycle effect is very important because you are running a lot of outdoor resources if you are going first. So yes, sometimes you can end your board with a Nekroz of Unicorn if you know what's your opponent's place, which is crucial sometimes. But okay, 2 Nekroz of Unicorn are perfectly fine in the current meta. Moving on to Closolas. Okay, he's level 3, very important. You will see later why. Also, he can search any Nekroz ritual spell. We are not running a lot of ritual spells, so that's the reason we're running 2. Also, the second effect, which is reduce the attack of any extra deck monster to 0 among with the negation of the effect. It's very important, especially if you're trying to bypass the negation bridge that a lot of competitive decks can establish very easily. So you are summoning Closolas, activate the effect of negation. Your opponent must respond in order to avoid the negation of his boss monster with the negation of his monsters, and also with that way you get rid of the negation. 1 Nekroz art here. He's very good, especially going first. He's better than Trishula. That's the reason we're running this in the deck. We're running 1 Nekroz Trishula in the side deck for going second, but this card in general with the negation effect is very good. He's level 10. You can easily summon it with Shuriken and your invitations. Of course, this card has is 3300 bitter. Why not to play 1? Next, we have 1 Nekroz of Vacuous. He's a part of the combo. He's also Spellcaster level 8. You can imagine the reason. He has multiple abilities. The most important for the deck right now is the tribute effect. You contribute up to 2 cards in order to draw up to 2 cards. Imagine tributing your Shurid and your Benten, which give you +2 and +2 searches, which is incredible in the current meta. Also, it can be special summoned very easily from the graveyard. I will show you the way how to use it later in the combo. Also, the second effect to send this card from your hand in order to end the battle phase is crucial right now, especially if you play a deep deck or running who has the ability to OTK you. Next, we're running Wani Danten. She is good. I may think to cut this card, but right now she's good, especially because she can get rid of Incantation, Talisman, Wrap with the basic combo. So you have access to your entire external deck after she's summoned. So Wani Danten, why not? 1 Ben 10, everyone knows the reason we're running Christia in the deck. She's searching offers from your deck. If you start with the Christia or Divine of the Hero, you can search the other part. You can also Dante, you can search anything. You get access to a lot of plays with Beten. You can also search for Manju, since we are playing a lot of furries. Moving on, we have Illusion of Chaos. One Illusion of Chaos is the reason why running Illusion of Chaos is to have direct access to Magician of Souls, which is the 2-card combo with the Incantation Chalice line. 1 Chaos. Moving on, we have 3 Chalice line, probably the card you are looking to start with in your hand. He gives you access to everything, spells, rituals, to anything, especially if you start with Chalice line and the Incantation ritual spell, or the Magician Soul is plus 3 or 4 cards and a good board on the field. So Talisman also has the ability to special summon and destroy 1 card and break 1 card on the field, which is a very good reason. She's not good in time, because if you know summon her, you lose to 2500 life points, but you have to be careful while you are using Chalice line. For the Nekroz monsters, we are already running 1 Shurit. Entire summon, very good to use. Moving on, 3 Diviners of the Hero. She is not the best normal summon, because we are running Manji also in the deck, but she's very good, especially if you run Saryuja in the extra deck. You can also special summon the copy of Diviner of the Herald in order to have an additional search or an additional summoning to your field, since you can also special summon Diviner of the Herald and activate the effect in opposition with Manju, which is only good if you normal summon it. We are also running 2 very crucial cards in the spell cards. You are gonna notice that later, which also give you direct access in order to activate the effect of Diviner of the Herald. She is also level 2, 3, 4, and 6, and 7 in the deck, so why not to play Diviner of the Herald in order to have access to everything in our extra deck. 2 managers, because why not? We have space in our deck in order to play those good old baddies. He can search everything, spell and traps, access to almost all the deck, why not? For the Incantation, we're running 1 Candle. It's a mandatory for the combo, very good, only 1. You don't need more than 1 of each Incantation, because you can recycle anything back. Also, it's very good. You don't need more than 1 of each Incantation, because we're gonna use all the resources of Incantation in channel 1 in order to lock your opponent. Otherwise, the Incantation package is not optimal. 1 Talisman Drum, he's searching the monsters, the ritual monsters from the deck, very good, part of the combo. 1 Persiplume, it's very crucial. You can return any ritual monster from the graveyard back to your hand, very good, especially if you're around out of resources. And 1 Bookstone, we're running also Bookstone. You can recycle back your ritual spells. You don't have a lot of resources as well, only 5 ritual spells in total among with the Incantation ritual spells, so 1 Bookstone, it's very good. For the non-ritual searchers, we are running 2 Magician Swords, part of the combo. It gives you +1 draw and 1 body on the field, among with 2 extra searches, so he's very good in the deck. 1 Christia, you can lock any of your opponent with Christia. Auto decks does not even have out on Christia, especially if you finish your board with Christia to negate and let's say Chaos Angel on the field. It's impossible for your opponent to bypass this combo. So Christia instead of Vanity's Ruler, because we can also summon Christia with Saryuja, and also her effect which gives you special summon if you have 4 fairy monsters in your graveyard, which is very easy in this build. And for the hand trap, we are running 3 Ash Blossom. As it was generic hand trap, probably the best hand trap in the game. Can stop almost every competitive deck right now, so why not to play Ash Blossom. You're also running a full Beastal card, which is 2 Magnamute, 1 Druid's Worm, and 1 Bulk Break. We're running the Bestial package because they are level 6. They are important for the deck. Also, it's a very good hand trap, especially against Branded right now, which is one of the top decks. So also very good against most of the rogue deck, which has serious issues. Nekroz has serious issues against. So we're running this package. You can feel free to card the package without exchange anything, because we're running over 40 cards, over 44 cards in the deck. So next, we have one DD Sprite. We're running this Sprite because we can sometimes tribute Diviner of the Herald and spare someone this Sprite has quick access to our extra deck. Also, don't forget that if you need to tribute something from your field, banish it and then recycle it back. If you have Nekroz of Unicorn on the field, the monsters that is going to be banished and returned back, it's going to have effect. So it's very, very good, and also give you the ability to have more and even more plays in the following turns. Moving on to the ritual spells, we're running 2 Kaleidoscope, probably the most important ritual spell right now. You can use monster from the extra deck, which is important. Also, you can also tribute monster from the field and hand. Special summon Nekroz monsters, probably the best ritual spell for Nekroz right now. One cycle, you can summon a monster from the graveyard, attributing monster from your hand and field. And of course, one Nekroz mirror, you can summon ritual monster from your hand by banishing the monster from your graveyard or attributing monster from your hand or field. And the last ritual spell is one Incantation Inception, the best ritual spell in the game for me right now. You can recycle this card every time back by removing one Incantation monster, especially some other Incantation monster from your deck. Also, you can use the effect of other Incantation in order to search, which is make this card way, way better. Running also preparation of Rites, a big mistake from Konami that didn't make this card collector rares in the last set, the Wild Survivors. This card has nothing to explain. You can search for a level 7 or lower ritual monster from your deck, or so you can add back from your graveyard one ritual spell if you have any. And the last 3 cards of the deck is one Monster Gate. You can tribute one monster from the field. Accelerate the card from your top of the deck until you have a monster that can be special summoned. Imagine tributing Menju, special summon Diviner of the Herald, which is 2 search, or any incantation monster which is additional search, makes this card incredible. And another card is Reasoning. Same effect, especially if your opponent doesn't know how you're playing. He's gonna call 4, which is the most common answer. If you summon any incantation monster other than Candle or any monster other than Magic, you're gonna have +1 right after. So one Reasoning among with the one Monster Gate, very good. And the last card is one Call by the Grave. Everyone is playing hand traps right now, so one Call by the Grave is mandatory, especially if you card a lot against draw a lot of birds. For the extra deck, we're running one Evolution Lars. It gives you one Negate, which is crucial right now, especially if your opponent does not play something related with the graveyard, which Wallow gonna be dead. So we prefer to run 2 level 6 monsters, level rank 6 monsters. Evolution Lars is the best option because Betten does nothing. So Evolution Lars, and the second one is Wallow, which is very good against all decks that are related to the graveyard. So Wallow is it was a bottom monster in the previous one, especially against tier elements. Next, we have a one-time Thief Redoer, very good. We're mainly running this card for the decks that run a lot of Floodgate. We are trying to summon this one along with one monster in order to steal the Floodgate if your opponent has any, and at least banish this one, and at least has the chance to play one face-up card from your opponent back in the top of the deck, so he can draw the recycled card again and again in order to slow down his plays until find a solution play. Sometimes if you go first is very good, especially if you want to get rid from your Necros of Unicorn, if you wanna have access to your extra deck. For the Synchros, we're running one Chaos Angel. You can summon this with Diviner of the Herald among with level 4 monster, or you can summon this with any Bestial along with any 4 level monster. And this card can protect your entire board, especially Christia, which is the main reason we're running Chaos Angel right now. One Dung Duster, level 7 monster, negates spell and traps, very crucial, especially if you run DD Sprite. we are running one Zolkin in order to special summon the one copy of Crystal Will Synchro Dragon in order to have the effects negated from the monster effect. You have the monster negated from your opponent. You can also use your Crystal Will Synchro Dragon in order, if your opponent have a boss monster with huge attack, you can tribute your own bestial monsters in order to give attack boost to your Crystal Will Synchro Dragon in order to attack your opponent monster and break it. Otherwise, there is no way for Nekroz to pass the 4,000 or 5,000 monster by any chance. We're running also 2 Hero of the Arclight Searcher. Also have the ability to special summon the one hero with the Sprite and the one close to us. You have Dark Claw effect and a search after that, which is very good. Next, we have one Baron de Flare, easily summonable with Devour the Herald and the full monster. And for the links, we have one Dark Charmer, very good, especially if 9 out of 10 decks are running good Dark monsters while to play. One Cross Ship, since you're playing rituals, it has give you 2 draws in order to fix your hand if you have a problem. You can also use the other effects, but this is the optimal effect to use in this deck. One Nightmare Phoenix, sometimes you handle a problem with its backward deck zone. Phoenix is the solution. And one Saryuja, so the Skull Dread, which this card is very good, especially it give you 4 draws and one special summon. The one special summon can give you an additional search for sure. Also can give you an ending word with Christia. You have no way to special summon here, which is very important. Sometimes I found that it's not very easy to summon Christia as a result. I decided to play Saryuja, but after that, when I ran the Saryuja, I found that he's very good, especially against everything. And the last card of the extra deck is one Elder NTSS, which is probably the next card I'm gonna cut out if something better it's coming up. But for right now, she can give you a disruption on the field with Divine of the Herald and Nekroz Kaleidoscope. So right now, especially with the current format, she is very good. So thank you guys for staying with us. If you enjoy our code, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.